crocheted lady parts, and Martin Bashir, both equally disturbing. Where else are you gonna go to get them? You know Sammy, my name's Steven Kruiser. This is Kruiser Control. Yes! Yeah. You know that ha-ha thing I do in the opening, Sammy? I sit around and do that at home all day now. That's just what the neighbors are complaining. Ha-ha! Last week was full of rain and wind here in Los Angeles, but it wasn't enough to wash this stupidity out of the air. My dear friends, it's tingle time. It's a poundy tingle dance. I don't know what it is. But you know what? Circulation's better now. Where, oh where, would Republican voters be without a monumental intellect like the diapered wonder to explain to them the origins of their voting behavior? Here's a political science lesson for you, kids.
Charlie Crist hugged the president and lost his seat. He lost the Senate race because he contacted the president physically once down in Florida. This is what's going on in your party.
That's exactly it. Charlie Crist lost because he touched the president. That's all. He hugged him. He just touched him, and right away we all went, the horror. He embraced a man we didn't like. That's exactly how we vote. You caught us, Chris. You caught us. Not because Charlie Crist is an awful lizard. Charlie Crist is a lizard, I'm pretty sure. Do you remember Charlie Crist? Remember we used to run a lot of videos of him here, too? Charlie Crist is a Komodo dragon. That's why he lost. Because a Komodo dragon cannot be a United States senator. Like an old friend you haven't seen in years because he's been in prison offending all things intelligent, it's Martin Bashir.
Blah, blah, blah. Blah.
Or maybe it's not just me anymore. Yes, little Marty McMoron returned in a big way, pulling double Kruiser Control segment duty. After jerking both knees in one of his typical anti-Republican tirades, Bashir has his pathetic hackery pointed out to him by his right-wing nutjob guest.
But unfortunately, we like to fight and point to the other group of charlatans rather than is facilitating the largest ongoing heist in American history with the banking system and just passed a massive giveaway to a codified health insurance monopoly and called it health reform. But I just think it's fun to point at the other guy. But it's interesting how that helps you avoid looking at how your own people are destroying America too. You know.
Yeah, I sort of follow you, Dylan. You appear to be enjoying the sunshine in Los Angeles, so please go ahead.
I don't think Dylan Ratigan is really a right-wing nutjob, Sammy. Dylan Ratigan, to the left of Bashir, is calling him out for being a hack and not pointing out the flaws on both sides. And Bashir is so clueless. I love that response. He's like, you seem to be enjoying the sun in Los Angeles. That's all he's got. You know why? Not so bright with the Bashir. Bashir is actually, it's British for stupid. Welcome now to a little something we may or may not be calling, I'll be on the backside.
You know, there's an old Irish saying, there's all kinds of old Irish sayings. At least my grandfather Finnegan, I think he made them up, but it says, may the hinges of our friendship never go rusty. Well, with these two folks that you're about to meet, if you haven't already, there's no doubt about them staying oiled and lubricated here. Ladies and gentlemen, now for you who are not full Irish in this room, lubricated has a different meaning for us all.
Yes, my good Kruiser Control friends, that man is one heartbeat away from the presidency. Brought to you by the very same people who have spent 4 years telling us that Sarah Palin is dumb. If Joe Biden hadn't become a senator from a state with 14 people, he would be the dude you're always instinctively pulling your children away from at the grocery store because you just knew he was a little off. If Dan Quayle had the number of mind-numbingly stupid gaffes that Biden has in just 1 week, Saturday Night Live would still be doing skits about him. Yes, only in a country dominated by a far left-leaning media complex can Crazy Joe the VP be thought of as serious and accomplished, rather than what he actually is, a man who probably shouldn't be allowed to eat with metal utensils. For those of you who have had nightmares wondering what it would be like if Chris Matthews were elected to office, I sadly report that your nightmare came true in November 2008. Let's go to the tweets of the week. Tweets of the week, of course, twitter.com/Steven Cruiser. You follow me, I'll follow you. Upload the egg avatars. You guys, there's so many people, so many more people every week going, I'm not an egg anymore. That's like a big accomplishment now. I'm not an egg anymore. No, you're a fully formed human being now because I said so. Tweet number 1.
What'd you think, son? I was just some crazy old coot putting everyone in harm's way as I yelled, "Yeehaw!"
Tweet number 1, courtesy of Crazy Joe the VP, who we just spent moments talking about. Tweet number 1 says, what would you say was the most audacious plan of the last 500 years? So one of my good friends on Twitter tweeted this week, he said, I don't think audacious means what you think it means, Joe. Because he said the killing of bin Laden was the most audacious thing he'd ever seen, and I would put so many things up there. I would so many things up there. Just the fact that somebody greenlit Mamma Mia as a Broadway musical, I think, ranks above that. There's so many other things we could do there. Tweet number 2.
Steady gold, pony boy.
What, did you understand any of that? It sounded like the old creepy grandma on The Exorcist talking right there for a moment. Why you do this to me, Demi? Tweet number 2 says, were you born this fabulous? I have no idea because I have no recollection of when I was an infant. I have seen the pictures though, and I don't look at them anymore because when I do, I just get lost in them. They're so cute. I was always smiling and always bare-bottomed, and just like the pictures I take now. Tweet number 3.
I heat up the ice cubes. It's the best of both worlds.
They have way too much time on their hands. Way too much time on. Let's use that. Okay, tweet number 3 from my good friend April Marie. What would you do with crocheted girl parts? That's what it means. This is what we're talking about. This is one of the most disturbing things I've ever seen. And there was a blog post this week that said, it's because you want to get your hands on my uterus so much, because you know, war on women, that's what we're doing here, Sammy. Somebody is crocheting uteri and sending them to conservative men so that we can get our hands on a uterus. This is what passes for the real world with the lefties right now. A crocheted uterus. Just soak it in. Soak it in for a moment. And then realize if you cut something in the bottom, you can warm your hands in it on a winter night in your creepy crocheted uterus. Was a punk band I was in the it was post-punk, it was 90s. Website, StevenCruiser.com. That's still creeping me. I looked at it for like half a second yesterday, decided to include it in the show, and now just thinking about it is creeping me out. But let's go to the website now, StevenCruiser.com. We are podcasting again. There are podcasts up there. There are bonus clips up there. There are the upcoming appearances, which are going to heat up again next month. Okay, so go there, StevenCruiser.com. And as always, when you comment, commenters are getting good lately too. They're getting like they've moved beyond the usual just complaining about what I was wearing or something else. And you can see where we've got the new ones with the upside down logo. Let me finish, Sammy. Sammy's like, it's upside down. It's upside down. I figure maybe we'll just throw a little variety in this week. Look, so many different looks for it. It's reversible. This week's comment winner, which I adored, talking about last week's pickup line, says, "Hi. I'm a classy conservative chick. If you can't give the pickup line, hi, my name is Steven Cruiser, I suggest I put wind chimes in my armpits and pick up hippie chicks, but you strike me as a woman who bathes. Care for a multi-purpose garden fountain? Yes, sir, you may buy me a liberal tear beer." Oh yeah, and to Bill Maher, I went to public school and I think you're a little confused about where this would scary knowledge contagious, where the adults, we're talking about Bill Maher last week, but she won me at liberal tear beer. I want to manufacture liberal tear beer now. That's my next big project, liberal tear beer, you get the first one. It's beautiful. Let us now gather around this week's wasted brain cells and peer into that perfectly mockable sphere known as the circle of dumb. I'm pretending I have symbols, apparently, like one of those monkeys. Despite Crazy Joe the VP trying his best to become our first winner in consecutive weeks, another esteemed member of the ruling elite stepped up to deliver a dose of stupidity only a member of Congress could deliver with a straight face. Dear Cruiser Control viewers, your winner is... Congressman Keith, don't stop him, he's on a roll, Ellison. This is a history lesson so rich I don't even need to set it up. Enjoy.
Congressman, the reason we like you as a guest is because you're an honest man. But I will point to history. I will point to history. The same mindset was taken when dealing with Nazi Germany. We're not going to go aggressive action. We don't believe they're going to do this. We don't believe they're going to do that. And they absolutely did everything. So I think you've got to learn from history.
In World War II, they attacked Pearl Harbor. That would be enough.
No, this is the German theater.
Yes, the Nazis bombed Pearl Harbor. Congressman Ellison. We haven't seen that since Animal House, which was a movie before your time, Sammy, before you were born. It was an ancient times. John Belushi. It was a black and white movie. It was one of the first of the talkies, actually. And Blutarski was insane in that movie and says the Nazis bombed Pearl Harbor. But now, Keith Ellison, member of Congress, making decisions about your life, putting his laws on your body and your crocheted uterus. Springtime has arrived, and with it the distinct possibility that I will be all sunshine and happiness, if only because I've lost the last piece of my mind. You know, I'm always getting serious with you and admonishing you and doing stuff like that for last piece of my mind. So this week I decided to lighten it up a little bit. You know, everybody's brackets kind of blew up for the NCAA tournament because it just got weird on the first week. Just weird, okay? There's nobody that's got, unless it was the drunk person who's never played a bracket thing before. So my good friends over at FTRradio.com decided to do a little alternative thing to distract us, and they're calling it Mark's Madness, where we're picking the MVP, the most vile progressive of the last 20 or 30 years. They broke the brackets down into 4 regions. There's the Derek Bell region, there's the Ted Kennedy region, there is the, I can't remember, there are 2 other, there's a Helen Thomas region full of media types, and there's the John Lennon region. So all named after dead people, even though Helen Thomas may be alive, we can't be sure. So go to FTRradio.com, we'll put the link up at the end of the show, and just up at the top, there's a menu bar that says Mark's Madness. They're voting, we're making it like a regular tournament. We're through the first 2 rounds already. Don't forget to vote, okay? Have some fun, lighten up, because you're not going to win the office pool. See you guys next week.